In the early history of Rome, following the reign of Tullus Hostilius and his military conquests, the city entered a new phase of expansion and consolidation under its fourth king, Ancus Marcius. Unlike his predecessor, who was known for his aggressive military campaigns, Ancus Marcius sought to balance war with diplomacy, cultural development, and economic growth. His reign was pivotal in shaping Rome's identity as a regional power, particularly in its engagements with the Latin League and the broader conflicts known as the Latin Wars. Ancus Marcius, the grandson of Numa Pompilius, inherited a Rome that had experienced significant military victories but lacked a firm foundation in governance and social unity. Recognizing the need to strengthen Rome internally while continuing its territorial expansion, he adopted a dual approach. He upheld religious traditions and civil reforms while also pursuing military campaigns when necessary. His reign marked a crucial transition from the war-focused leadership of Tullus Hostilius to a more structured and sustainable model of governance. The Latin Wars were a series of conflicts that defined Rome's relationship with its neighbors in Latium. The Latin League, a confederation of Latin city-states, had long existed as a coalition for mutual defense and economic cooperation. However, as Rome grew in power, tensions arose between the city and its Latin neighbors, leading to periodic wars over dominance in the region. These wars were characterized by shifting alliances, betrayals, and Rome's gradual assertion of hegemony over the Latin cities. One of the earliest conflicts between Rome and the Latin League occurred during the reign of Ancus Marcius. The Latins, wary of Rome's expansion, viewed the city as a growing threat to their independence. Some Latin cities sought to challenge Roman influence by forming alliances with external forces, while others attempted to resist through direct confrontation. Ancus Marcius, recognizing the necessity of securing Rome's position, embarked on a campaign to bring the Latin cities under Roman control. One of the defining moments of the Latin Wars was Rome's campaign against the city of Politorium. This Latin stronghold had become a refuge for those resisting Roman rule, and its strategic location made it a key target for Roman expansion. Ancus Marcius led a well-organized military campaign against Politorium, employing both siege tactics and direct assaults. The city eventually fell to the Romans, and its inhabitants were forcibly relocated to Rome, a tactic that would become a hallmark of Roman expansionism. By integrating conquered peoples into Roman society, Ancus Marcius strengthened Rome's manpower and economic base while simultaneously weakening potential resistance. Following the conquest of Politorium, Rome continued its campaigns against other Latin cities. One of the most significant engagements occurred against the city of Medullia, which had emerged as a focal point of Latin resistance. The battle for Medullia was a prolonged and intense conflict, with both sides demonstrating remarkable resilience. The Latins, well aware of Rome's growing power, fought fiercely to maintain their independence. However, Ancus Marcius, utilizing superior strategy and logistics, managed to outmaneuver the Latin forces and secure a decisive victory. The fall of Medullia further cemented Rome's dominance in Latium and demonstrated the effectiveness of its military organization. While these wars were primarily driven by military objectives, they also had profound political and cultural implications. The absorption of Latin populations into Rome contributed to the city's demographic growth and economic development. Ancus Marcius understood the importance of integrating conquered peoples rather than merely subjugating them. He implemented policies that facilitated the assimilation of Latin communities, granting them limited rights within the Roman system while ensuring their loyalty to the state. Beyond his military campaigns, Ancus Marcius made significant contributions to Rome's infrastructure and civic institutions. One of his most enduring achievements was the expansion of Rome's port at Ostia. Recognizing the economic potential of maritime trade, he developed Ostia into a major commercial hub, facilitating trade with other Mediterranean civilizations. This development not only boosted Rome's economy, but also positioned the city as a dominant player in regional trade networks. Additionally, Ancus Marcius focused on fortifying Rome's defenses. He expanded the city's walls, built new bridges, and strengthened its military outposts. These measures ensured that Rome remained well protected against potential invasions and internal uprisings. His emphasis on infrastructure and urban planning laid the groundwork for Rome's future expansion and prosperity. The Latin Wars continued beyond the reign of Ancus Marcius, evolving into a broader struggle for supremacy in central Italy. As Rome expanded its influence, it encountered resistance from other Latin cities that sought to preserve their autonomy. These conflicts were marked by shifting alliances, as some Latin cities aligned with Rome while others opposed its growing power. The dynamics of these wars were complex, with diplomacy playing as crucial a role as military force. One of the most notable developments in the later stages of the Latin Wars was the increasing reliance on treaties and negotiated settlements. While military conquest remained a primary tool of Roman expansion, Rome also sought to integrate Latin cities through diplomatic means. Treaties were often structured to provide certain privileges to Latin cities, while ensuring their subordination to Rome. These agreements laid the foundation for the eventual unification of Latium under Roman rule. The culmination of the Latin Wars came with Rome's decisive victory over the Latin League. This victory marked the transition from a city-state competing for regional dominance to a hegemonic power that dictated the political landscape of central Italy. The Latin cities, though nominally independent, were now firmly under Roman influence, bound by treaties that reinforced Rome's supremacy. The impact of these wars was profound. Rome's territorial expansion brought economic prosperity, increased manpower for its armies, and enhanced political stability. The integration of Latin populations into Roman society contributed to the city's cultural and linguistic cohesion, creating a more unified state. Moreover, the experiences gained from these conflicts refined Rome's military strategies, setting the stage for its future conquests beyond Latium. The legacy of the Latin Wars and the reign of Ancus Marcius cannot be overstated. These events shaped the trajectory of Roman history, demonstrating the city's ability to adapt, expand, and integrate diverse populations. Ancus Marcius, through his balanced approach to governance, laid the groundwork for Rome's transformation into a formidable power. His reign was a bridge between the early martial focus of Rome and the sophisticated statecraft that would define its later empire. As Rome emerged victorious from these conflicts, it solidified its reputation as an indomitable force in the ancient world. The lessons learned from the Latin Wars informed Rome's future military campaigns, influencing its approach to warfare, diplomacy, and governance. The city's ability to assimilate conquered peoples while maintaining a strong military presence became a defining characteristic of Roman expansionism. In conclusion, the era of Ancus Marcius and the Latin Wars was a pivotal period in Rome's history. These events highlighted the city's strategic acumen, military prowess, and capacity for governance. The conquest and integration of Latin cities set the stage for Rome's rise as a dominant power in Italy and beyond. The story of these wars serves as a testament to Rome's resilience, ambition, and the visionary leadership that guided its ascent to greatness.